Welcome to Mr. English Daily.
Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Mr. English Daily, the podcast where real English meets real life. I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo, and today we're going somewhere a little uncomfortable.
Just a little.
Like sitting in a quiet room and suddenly remembering every unfinished plan you've ever had uncomfortable.
Because today's topic is why do people quit too early? And why don't they even realize it?
So we're doing this.
We're doing this.
Okay, I'm ready. Emotionally prepared, slightly nervous.
Perfect. That's exactly the right energy for this episode. Here's the thing about quitting early. It doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't look like throwing your notebook across the room or shouting, "I give up."
No, most of the time it looks very quiet, very reasonable. It sounds like, maybe this just isn't for me.
Or, "I'll come back to it when things calm down."
Or the absolute classic,
"I'll restart on Monday."
Monday, the world's most popular life coach.
Monday has never said no to anyone. Monday always says, "Yes, come back. I'll be here."
Poor Monday carries so much of our hope.
It really does. But this is what makes the topic so important. People don't usually stop because they're lazy or they don't care. They stop because the journey gets quiet, gets repetitive, gets confusing.
And in that strange middle stage, it starts to feel like nothing is happening.
Even when something actually is.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, because honestly, the beginning of anything feels incredible.
Oh, absolutely. New goal, new energy, new version of yourself just waiting to appear.
New notebook?
Very important. Cannot start without the notebook.
Non-negotiable. But really, the beginning has this special feeling. Everything feels possible. You feel close to the person you want to become.
And when something leaves an impression on us, when it creates a strong, lasting effect, we remember how it made us feel. That hopeful feeling at the start, it stays with you.
Exactly. You remember the promise you made to yourself. This time, I mean it. And you did mean it, genuinely.
Most people are sincere at the beginning. They're not pretending. The energy is real.
For about 4 days.
Leo,
I'm just being honest.
you're attacking people's fresh motivation.
I'm protecting them from the crash. There's a difference.
Fine, but here's why the beginning feels so powerful. In your imagination, progress is already done. In your imagination, you are already confident, disciplined, successful, glowing.
Your future self wakes up early, drinks water, has perfect focus, and somehow always looks well rested.
Exactly. And that feeling is beautiful, but also a little dangerous because excitement is not the same as endurance. Starting strong is lovely. Staying strong is a completely different skill.
And that brings us to the part of the journey that nobody makes motivational videos about.
The middle.
The long, quiet, unglamorous middle.
This is where things get hard because the beginning is exciting, but the middle is repetitive. It's slow. It doesn't feel impressive.
And over time, that middle can really take a toll on a person. You know, when something takes a toll, it doesn't break you all at once. It wears you down slowly, little by little.
You keep showing up, but you're not seeing much change. You're trying, but you're getting tired.
At first, you feel motivated. Then you feel okay. Then you feel bored. Then you're staring at your goal like it personally did something to you.
Why are you still here?
What do you want from me?
Exactly. And after a while, people become reluctant. Reluctant means not fully willing, a little hesitant, a little unsure. You haven't quit yet, but your heart isn't fully in it anymore.
You delay, you avoid. You tell yourself, I'll do it later.
And the tricky part is this can look very reasonable from the inside. You might think, maybe I'm just being honest with myself. Maybe this goal was never right for me.
And sometimes that's true, but a lot of the time, it's not honesty, it's just exhaustion mixed with disappointment.
Because the middle doesn't reward you quickly. It asks you to continue before things feel worth it.
Which, frankly, is rude.
Very rude.
I didn't agree to this when I started.
Nobody does. But this is exactly where most people quietly leave. Not because they can't do it, but because the process stopped feeling magical.
Is anything even happening?
Yes. And here's something really important to understand. Growth doesn't always look obvious while it's actually happening.
And once the excitement disappears, people start asking a dangerous question.
Right. Sometimes change is visible, but often it's working quietly under the surface.
You might not see huge results yet, but maybe you're becoming more patient, more focused, more steady inside. Maybe you're getting better at keeping a promise to yourself.
That matters. That counts. Which leads to something really insightful. And insightful means showing deep, clear understanding. Here it is. Your perception of your own progress is not always accurate.
Perception is the way you see and interpret something. So in simple terms, the way your brain judges your progress can be completely wrong.
Your brain is not always a fair judge.
No, sometimes your brain looks at 3 weeks of quiet, steady effort and says, not impressive enough. Come back when there are results I can see.
But think about learning English, for example. Someone might feel stuck because they're not speaking perfectly yet, but maybe they understand much more than before. Maybe they hesitate less. Maybe they feel less afraid.
That is growth. It's not loud, but it's real.
People tend to respect visible progress and ignore invisible progress, but invisible progress is usually the foundation. Before confidence appears on the outside, it grows quietly on the inside.
Before a skill looks smooth, it usually feels completely messy.
So if you're in a quiet season right now, that doesn't automatically mean you're lost. It might mean you're building.
And right in that quiet season, another mistake often shows up.
People start confusing discomfort with failure.
This one is big.
Huge, because the moment something feels awkward or hard, many people think this must be a sign.
A sign from the universe.
Maybe this isn't for me. But discomfort doesn't always mean stop. Sometimes it just means stretch.
Sometimes it means you're learning something new. Sometimes it means your old habits are being challenged. Sometimes it means your identity is changing, and that never feels completely comfortable.
And here's the strange part. People often feel most uncomfortable when they are actually on the verge of something important. To be on the verge of something means to be very close to it happening.
You might be on the verge of a real breakthrough, but because it feels unfamiliar, your brain files it under danger.
Yes, our brains don't always say, congratulations, you're growing. Sometimes they just say, exit, now.
Think about speaking in a new language, starting a new job, trying to build a new habit, setting a boundary. Those things feel uncomfortable, not because they're wrong, but because they're new.
Hard doesn't automatically mean harmful. Awkward doesn't automatically mean impossible.
And this is where people need to be a little kinder to themselves, because if every uncomfortable feeling becomes a reason to quit, growth becomes impossible.
You cannot grow and stay fully comfortable at the same time. Something in you has to stretch.
Beautiful. Annoying, but beautiful.
Very annoying. Completely true.
And you know what makes that discomfort even heavier?
Comparison.
Ah, yes, looking at someone else's journey while you're in the middle of your own.
Comparison is tricky because it makes your progress feel invisible, even when it's real. You may have genuinely moved forward, but you look at someone else and suddenly your effort feels like nothing.
And growth is unpredictable, meaning it doesn't follow a neat, clear schedule. It's not easy to know in advance how or when results will appear.
One person improves quickly in one area and slowly in another. One person gets visible results early. Another builds more quietly over time. There is no single, clean timeline.
But social media makes everything look fast and straight. Day 1, confused. Day 7, transformed. Day 14, glowing in natural light with the green juice.
Always the green juice.
Always.
Always. Real life is messier than that, more emotional, more uneven. And if you compare your private struggle to someone else's polished highlight, you'll feel behind for no real reason.
Instead of comparing results, what matters more is whether you can show willingness, show that you're still open, still ready, still choosing to stay in the process.
Yes, maybe you're not fast yet, maybe you're not perfect yet, but are you still here? Are you still willing to learn? Are you willing to be bad at something long enough to eventually become good at it?
That willingness is powerful because comparison asks, am I ahead? But growth asks, am I still here?
Say that again.
Comparison asks, am I ahead? Growth asks, am I still here?
That's the real question. Because if you're still here, still trying, still learning, still showing up, the story isn't over.
Leaving too early.
And honestly, one of the saddest parts of this whole topic is this.
People often walk away right before something begins to shift.
This one hits hard.
Because it happens so often. Someone works hard, struggles, doubts themselves, gets tired, and then, just as things are actually starting to change, they walk away from it.
To walk away from something means to leave it behind, to step out, to stop.
They walk away from the routine, the practice, the version of themselves that was slowly being built.
Not because they had no ability, but because the silence felt like failure.
And they didn't know how close they were.
It's like learning a language. For a long time, you feel slow. Nothing feels natural. And then one day, without warning, you understand a joke. You answer without thinking. You speak with less fear than before.
Progress often arrives quietly at first. It doesn't knock loudly on the door.
Sometimes it sneaks in wearing slippers,
That's a strange image.
but accurate.
Very accurate.
And this is why patience matters, because growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's already happening while you're busy feeling discouraged.
So many people think they need more talent, when really they just need more time.
More time, more steadiness, more trust in the process.
And yes, not every goal should be kept forever. Sometimes stepping away is the right and healthy choice.
Absolutely. But that decision should come from wisdom, not from one exhausted moment, not from one bad week, not from one day when doubt feels louder than truth.
How to stay when you want to quit.
So, what do we actually do in those moments? How do you stay when everything in you wants to close the notebook and start fresh?
Great question. Let's talk about it. First, when everything feels heavy, narrow it down.
To narrow something down means to make it smaller and more focused.
Don't try to fix your entire life before Friday.
Please don't.
Exhausting for everyone involved.
If the goal feels too big, make it smaller. If the routine feels too heavy, make it lighter. If the whole picture feels overwhelming, focus on just one next step.
Because people often quit when the goal stops feeling like a goal and starts feeling like a judgment on their whole identity.
It shifts from, I missed one day, to, I'm the kind of person who never follows through.
And that's too much weight for one moment to carry.
So speak more carefully to yourself. Stay specific. Stay grounded. Don't turn one hard moment into a story about who you are forever.
Second, come back to your reason, not the big dramatic one you wrote in a burst of excitement, the honest human one.
Maybe you started because you wanted peace or confidence or to feel proud of yourself or to grow into someone you respect. Come back to that.
Third, allow imperfect consistency. This one is important.
A messy effort that continues is often stronger than a perfect effort that disappears.
That should be on a mug
A very emotionally mature mug.
with good font.
And finally, stop asking, do I feel inspired right now? And start asking, can I stay with this a little longer?
Because sometimes the bravest thing isn't doing more. Sometimes it's simply not leaving.
Not leaving yourself, not leaving the process, not walking away from the quiet work just because it isn't exciting today.
Staying is a skill. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just one ordinary choice, made again and again.
And over time, those ordinary choices change you.
All right, time for our word tour. Let's look at some of the key words and phrases from today's episode.
These are expressions that sound natural in conversation, but also carry a lot of meaning. So let's slow down and really look at them.
First phrase, leave an impression.
To leave an impression means to create a strong, lasting effect on someone. Something stays in their mind because it felt powerful or meaningful.
Example, the beginning of a new goal often leaves an impression because the feeling of hope is so strong.
Or, her presentation left an impression on everyone in the room. Repeat, leave an impression.
Leave an impression.
Next, take a toll.
If something takes a toll on you, it slowly drains your energy, emotions, or strength over time. Not all at once, but gradually.
Example, the long, quiet middle of any journey can take a toll on your motivation.
Or working without rest for months took a toll on his health. Repeat, take a toll.
Take a toll. Next, reluctant.
Reluctant is an adjective. It means not fully willing, hesitant, unsure, not enthusiastic about doing something.
Example, after several difficult weeks, she became reluctant to keep going.
Or he was reluctant to speak in front of the group at first. Repeat, reluctant.
Reluctant. Next, insightful.
If something is insightful, it shows deep, clear understanding. It helps you see a situation in a more meaningful way.
It was an insightful reminder that progress isn't always visible.
Or she made an insightful comment about why people are afraid of change. Repeat, insightful.
Insightful. Next, perception.
Perception is a noun. It means the way you see, understand, or interpret something. Two people can experience the same situation and have completely different perceptions of it.
Your perception of your own progress is not always accurate.
Or social media can shape our perception of success. Repeat, perception.
Perception. Next, on the verge of.
To be on the verge of something means to be very close to it happening. You're almost there.
Sometimes, when things feel most uncomfortable, you're actually on the verge of a breakthrough.
Or she was on the verge of giving up when things finally started to improve. Repeat, on the verge of.
On the verge of. Next, unpredictable.
If something is unpredictable, you can't easily know or guess what will happen in advance. It changes in unexpected ways.
Example, growth is unpredictable. It doesn't follow the same path for everyone.
Or life can be unpredictable even when we plan carefully. Repeat, unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Next, show willingness.
To show willingness means to show that you are open and ready to try, even when something is difficult or uncomfortable.
Example, what matters most is your ability to show willingness to stay in the process.
Or he showed willingness to learn even when he made mistakes. Repeat, show willingness.
Show willingness. Next, walk away from.
To walk away from something means to leave it behind, a goal, a situation, a relationship, an opportunity.
Example, many people walk away from their goals right before real progress begins.
Or he decided to walk away from a job that was making her unhappy. Repeat, walk away from.
Walk away from. And last, narrow down.
Narrow down means to make it smaller, clearer, and more focused. You reduce many options to fewer, clear ones.
Example, when everything feels overwhelming, narrow down your goal and focus on just one small step.
Or we need to narrow down our options before making a final decision. Repeat, narrow down.
Narrow down. And those were your words and phrases for today. Use them, practice them, make them yours.
And maybe the heart of today's whole episode is this. You don't always need to do more. Sometimes you just need to stay a little longer.
Be kind to yourself. Trust the quiet seasons. And don't walk away too quickly from something that still matters to you.
Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply not leave.
I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo.
And this is Mr. English Daily.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care of yourselves and keep going.
Bye.
Bye.